Alright guys, welcome back. This is Wednesday's activity. Um, we're going to start talking about how energy transfers. We'll be talking about an energy pyramid and food chains and food webs. Okay, as we know, consumers or humans or any other animals like your dog or cat or any other pets you guys have, they cannot make their own energy. But I'm sure as your parents know, humans, especially you teenagers, have loads and loads of energy. Where does it come from? Well, it comes from the things that we eat, and eventually it had to have come from a plant. The special thing about plants, like I said before, they're producers, they produce their own energy. Plants are producers, so they make their own energy from the sun. Okay, so the energy pyramid. Because each organism uses energy from its food and only stores some, each level consumer gets less and less energy from its food. Okay, this is part of the reason why it's so healthy to eat plants. Down here at the bottom is where all the energy is. And each time it goes up, so when the giraffes eat these trees, not all of the energy gets passed on, only some. And then when the tiger eats the lovely giraffe, again, not all of the energy gets passed on, only a little bit. So energy is lost each time it goes up the pyramid. And here's just roughly how much. Okay? The sun, tons of energy. And then the plants have a lot or almost all of it. And then each time, look at little bit and little bit. It gets smaller and smaller the amount of energy as it's passed down. So who's going to have to eat more to continue getting a lot of energy? The tertiary consumers, the guys at the top. Okay? Snakes are going to have to eat a lot more mice to get their energy versus how much they're going to have to eat as they come down. Okay, the fun stuff. Food chains and food webs. A food chain shows a simple sequence of organisms and who they eat. Okay? Snake eats the rabbit. A rabbit eats the grass. It shows only one path. The thing we need to know about these arrows is this telling us what is going into whom. The way I like to think about this is if you're holding a cheeseburger, okay, let's say you went to McDonald's, you have a cheeseburger, you're putting it into your mouth. It's going into you, the burger. So the arrow is showing you who's going into who. The grass is going into the rabbit. The rabbit is going into the snake. Another way of saying it is the snake ate the rabbit eats the grass. But a food chain is showing one path, who's eating who. Okay? Here's another food chain. Goes a little bit in a circle, but again, it's only one path. And again, we'll see producers are always first. It has to be a producer first. Then we have consumers, and it normally goes an herbivore. Herbivores only eat plants, so they have to be the first consumer. They're eating the plants. And then either a carnivore or an omnivore will be eating a herbivore. Eventually these pass on, and they get decomposed, and that is used once again into the circle. Okay, food webs are a little more complicated. All they really are is many different food chains all together. It's not just one path anymore. It includes many more pathways. But the basic idea remains the same. Who is eating who? Food web. Who is eating who? And it's a lot more complicated because it tends to show more of the ecosystem. Now, one thing I want to discuss is, if I can find it. No, alright, well. You guys learned a little bit about this with the wolves in the Yellowstone National Park. So we're going to discuss it again here. All these animals rely on each other. Okay? Even if a wildcat doesn't exactly eat a snake, it's, in a way, it can be affected by the snake. So let me go here. If we remove this snake, what was the only thing the snakes were eating in this area? The mice. So the mice, right, have a lot of different predators that they're worried about. The mice has no more predator, one less predator. Maybe that mouse population will get higher. If there's more mice, what does that mean for the rabbit, the owl, and the wildcat? More food. So that's one way it can affect the food chain. Let me ask you this. What would happen if there's no more rabbits? What's going to happen to the wildcat or jackal? I'm sorry, the wildcat or jackal. These populations will probably decrease. Why? Less food source. There's going to be more competition between the other two for the mice. Just understand for right now that if you remove one animal or add in an animal, that the food web becomes insecure and anything can happen. These slides go over the food pyramid again. Just remember the energy is going up, okay? And here's another one. The base, the thing that holds the whole pyramid together, they are the producers. All right. I'll talk to you guys again later.